Hey there guys, welcome back to my blind playthrough of Alan Wake. I know I concluded the previous part very quickly, but it was just very late and I just wanted to stop right now, and I was getting kinda sick of the game. The gameplay can be a bit repetitive at times, so that's why I decided to come back the next day, just so I could feel rejuvenated again. And we can finish this. We're nearing the end of the game. We're almost there. Oh, come on! There we go.
Nice to see you too.
Finally made it. So that was kind of a dumb sequence. I do think the physics and the possessed objects can be very, very awkward. Oh, what, they can drive? I guess that's to be expected. There we go. What's next? A bunch of drag racers are gonna come after me while I'm busy driving away. See, what was that? Oh. God, you can barely see this black stuff on the ground. Doesn't even make a noise, which is odd. Oh my god. Just piss off. Alright, this is taking a little too long. I don't know why they're doing this. As of right now, the game's starting to feel kind of average. I definitely think the gameplay is very average with this game, with just typical point-and-shoot gameplay. Only you're just using a light to remove darkness. Like, at the end of the day, this is mainly a story-driven game, rather than, a game that tries to deliver more interesting gameplay.
Barber's face kept crooning sweet nothings, sugar-laced with poison. He put on the suit, untied the monster from the chair. The thing in his arms thrashed weakly, but he held fast. He stepped outside, off the pier, and into the dark water, a sinking pinprick of light descending toward a bottom that never came.
There we go. That was simple.
I'd acted as if I knew what I was doing. I didn't. I was operating on the shifting logic of a dream. I had to fight my way to the lake through the horrors of the night. I had to flick an old battered light switch imbued with childhood magic. I had to write a happy ending to a horror story. I had to save my wife from the dark prison she was being held in.
Shifting logic of the dream. Interesting wording.
I will never give her to you.
Holding circle to swap weapons is very unresponsive, and it's just very delayed.
The dark place I found myself in was unlike anything I could ever have imagined. It wasn't solid. It flowed. It was conceptual and subjective. For someone else, an artist in another field, it would have been very different. I could sense the story of the manuscript all around me, the words and ideas floating in the air, poised to become real.
But Alan Wake is definitely a story-driven game. It's not really about the gameplay much. Did they attack me through the geometry? I'm definitely not going to be doing a walkthrough of this game. I don't think it's that interesting of a game for a walkthrough, honestly. Like, Alan Wake is just all a matter of preference, I would say. I can kind of appreciate the story and what it does, but the gameplay is not really that interesting, honestly. As of right now, I don't really know what my score is for Alan Wake, exactly. I mean, I'll still probably replay this game on Nightmare, but I don't think I'll do any additional recordings of Nightmare difficulty. It might be worth playing this game without doing any recordings, just so I can better appreciate this game. But we'll have to see. This is taking a little too long. I think this is dragged out. I do feel like the slow motion is overused in this game. That can be a little, obnoxious. Yeah, I'm really starting to get annoyed with the slow motion on this game. And why do we have to constantly see the same messages over and over again? You think they do something a bit more interesting with the text, but it's just the same messages we continually see. Well, hopefully we can get this done, because this is definitely dragging out, and I do feel like it affects my score of the game so far, but it'll probably drop a bit more with Nightmare difficulty, whatever it's like. I mean, this is just an average game, guys. That's what I'd have to say. It's just an average game. This, I would honestly say, is kind of on the same level of, like, Board and Conspiracy, probably, in terms of very average quality, and with some interesting mechanics. And the story isn't stellar. I mean, like, I'm sure a lot of people probably like the way the story is told in this game. I don't know. I don't feel like the story is as interesting as the Evil Within, like I've already mentioned before. But it's nice that there are some of those Evil Within vibes that I do get from this game. I really don't know, like, I don't know what kind of score to give this game. Like, it's not a bad game, but it's not that exceptional of a game, I would say. It's just kind of in the middle. And there are some mechanical problems as well, like with the ambiguous detection on the dodge. Whoa! Alright. The jumping is very clunky. Certain parts tend to drag out a bit too much. And I do feel like the writing and the pacing can be a little bit weird in certain parts.
After Zane had gone, I stood alone in the shifting dream that was the dark place. I had to find a way to the cabin. I'd written myself a way through this place in the manuscript. I followed the idea of a path. I'd written myself across the ocean that blocked my way, and with that, there was a bridge to the island beyond. The idea of the cabin flickered in the underwater darkness. I willed the cabin to be real, and it was.
It's weird how you couldn't write in infinite ammo or something. Like endless light. I mean, I'm sure that was probably the result of the dark presence, and maybe, like, the small amounts of influence he had over the story didn't allow him to go overboard with certain ideas. Not really sure. Contact damage. That really doesn't make any sense for there to be contact damage.
Do as you're told.
Wow, now it's mirroring that scene from The Evil Within, where Sebastian goes through the train and all these girders come in that are like, you will suffer. I'm telling you guys, Evil Within influences in this game. This game definitely gave a lot of inspiration for The Evil Within, and they refined it in a more interesting way in that game. Ah, great. Oh, that did it. That looked a little weird with the way it was animated.
Hell!
Shh, baby. You were having a bad dream. It was just another nightmare.
No,
Everything's fine. You're home.
it wasn't a dream.
Everything's fine.
Turn the lights on. Turn the lights on!
Shh, baby. The power's out. There's no light. Come back to bed and I'll make you forget all about your fear.
My fear? It's your fear. Why aren't you afraid? You're not Alice. Turn the lights on now. Where's the clicker? What did you do with it?
Alan, you're scaring me now. Come back to bed. Are you taking your pills? Do you want me to call Dr. Hartman? Come back to bed, Alan.
Come back to bed, Tom.
I read your manuscript. It's brilliant. Departure is your best work yet.
You must find your way to the cabin. It stands in your way. It won't let you pass. It has no heart. It's filled with darkness. You must fill its heart with light. Don't mind him. He's Mr. Scratch.
Mr. Scratch?
Your friends will meet him when you're gone.
How convenient, because I heard that name in Criminal Minds.
Use the clicker.
Is there a significance to that name? Follow the idea of a path.
I'm leaving you.
What?
I'm leaving you, Alan. I met someone. I'm in love with someone else.
Alice? No, what are you saying? You can't.
You don't love me. How could you? You don't even love yourself. All you do is torture yourself with work you can't do anymore.
No, I love you more than anything in the world. You're my muse.
I'm not.
Who are you? What have you done with my Alice?
Alan? What are you doing? Put the light back on! What are you doing, Alan? Stop! Put the light back on!
It wasn't true. Nothing like that had ever happened. You're not my Barbara.
I promised to be good. Please, I'm tiny and not boring. I will help you write your masterpiece. I will love you forever.
No, you're not Barbara Jagger. I made a terrible mistake. I should have never written you back. You came back wrong. Your heart is filled with darkness.
Heart of Darkness.
Now you will never get her back.
I am much older than you. Older than your first work of art. I will find a new face to wear. Someone else to dream me free.
Fill its heart with light.
I could feel Alice's presence close by. I understood what I had to do now. I knew how to write the ending to Departure. There's light and there's darkness. Cause and effect. There's guilt and there's atonement. But the scales always need to balance. Everything has a price. That's where Zane had gone wrong. There's a long journey through the night back into the light. Alice? Alice? Oh no!
What, did he give his own life? Hmm. I'm sure there's something symbolic here that you're meant to piece together from the earlier parts of the game, but I don't know if I have the real investment into this game to really care much. Hmm. And since they're making an Alan Wake 2, this is not going to end in a definitive ending. It's probably going to end in a cliffhanger, I bet. And this is Deerfest, we know that. How are these guys here? Aren't they supposed to be in that facility? Or is this all part of the ending?
It's not a lake. It's an ocean.
Alan, wake up.
That's it? Okay. That's it. That's all there is. Yeah, like I said, I had a feeling it was going to end in a cliffhanger like that. And it's all stuff you're meant to theorize, just piece together from earlier parts of the game, with some subtle clues here and there. Maybe something else is revealed on Nightmare difficulty, but I don't know, guys. I don't know how I feel about this game. It's just an average game, guys. That's just what I'd say right there. You either like it or you don't like it. It's sort of a middle ground game at best. In fact, I'm actually curious to see what the reviews said about this game. Let me just take a look at them real quick, because I just don't know how I'm going to piece this together. Positive reviews, has garnered a cult following. Visuals, sound, narrative, pacing, and atmosphere are often praised. I'm not too sure how I feel about the atmosphere, though. It was just a lot of darkness and fog. Nothing really interesting there, just very simple concepts. I'm sure a lot of people will say there's a skill involved with that, but I expected something a little bit more. And the gameplay was pretty boring. It's very, like, cut and dry, point and shoot gameplay, but you're just using a flashlight and other light sources. And there were definitely some points where the mechanics were very clunky to handle. Apparently there's specials. Are these DLCs? I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna touch the DLCs. Yeah, I'm sort of in the middle with this game, guys. That's all I have to say, and I do feel like just to sum up a lot of the things I have, the gameplay is very cut and dry, point and shoot gameplay with just using light sources. I mean, the story can be interesting for a lot of people. I don't know if I would actually call it impeccable, and the mechanics are clunky in certain parts. There were definitely some dumb sequences in this game. It's not really that interesting, I would say. I'm not really sure I understand the positive reception with this game. I mean, it's kind of a similar case with Silent Hill, where I don't really understand what the appeal is. Like, Silent Hill is just a very bare bones game with some of the most rudimentary mechanics ever, and the storytelling is just going nowhere. The music choices are just very strange. At least there weren't any strange music choices here. And it was nice to get some of those Evil Within vibes with this game, and it makes you question if certain developers from Alan Wake actually were involved in the development of the Evil Within, because I really do feel it. But other than that, there's not much else to really say about this game. So as of right now, guys, I think I would probably give this score maybe like a 5 out of 10. Maybe a bit lower, because like I don't really see the replayability with this game much. It's probably just based purely on how you feel with the game, how it feels to utilize the mechanics. That's really it. I don't know, guys. Like this is not that interesting of a game. I'm not gonna lie. So I don't even know if I want to settle with a 5 out of 10. It's hard to really decide what to view this game as, honestly. So I guess I'll just leave it at that. And I don't think I'll really return to Alan Wake anytime soon. So, yeah, that's the end of my blind playthrough. Thank you guys for watching, and you take care now.